And we are back. People wouldn't Nyaka Janet. Welcome back. We felt it was very important that we have this young man and this young lady come on with this. We had them in the building, and together they have 53 years of lived experience. So I'm very honored. Would you like to introduce yourselves, please?
Hi, I'm Ruth Bearshill.
I'm Ron Colley.
Welcome, welcome. Would you tell us how many years of sobriety you have?
I have 25 years as of February 28th of this year.
Congratulations, congratulations, Mr. Colley.
I have 25 years as of August 30th, 1999.
Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing. I August. No, I'm just kidding. May 4th, 2021 is my sobriety date. So I'm still like a spiritual toddler, you know. But we got to start somewhere. So, a lot of the people that tune in, most of them are new into recovery, and I always say it all the time, I wish there were more people doing more of what we do. I see, my sisters up in Pawnee country. They started doing it live, which I love. There's different outlets. Um, Mike Duncan in Sacramento, he does. It's called Native Dads Network, and then there's a podcast up in with the bros in Billings. It's called We Are Unspoken Words, and I'm sure there's a couple more, but I always wish we had more and more natives. Because I feel like we can use the technology that we have in a positive way. So just some of the things I wanted to talk about was you know like we were just saying, what helped make your decision to get into sobriety?
Well, I'll start off, and after doing some damage to the home and sitting in jail, I began to pray, and not so much praying for get me out of jail, I'll never do it again. I prayed, I said, show me something different. Show me something different. And um, my lawyer at the time, we had done an assessment and went back in front of the judge, and he said 4 months in county or 6 months in treatment. And I knew right then that was the creator talking through that judge saying, here's something different. And the choice was still mine, but the creator put those two choices out in front of me and let me choose. What do you want to do? Do you want to sit in jail or do you want to try something different? So that's when August 30th, 1999, that's when I enrolled into Drug Recovery Incorporated, Community House. Shout out to Community House. I believe it's called Catalyst Behavioral Sciences now. But I was there for 6 months. And the first day I enrolled there was my first day of sober living.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. You know, uh, when did you realize like that was a God shot? That you prayed, you said you prayed, and then that's the response you got. Did it feel like that was the creator working?
Yeah, it seemed like it was just, I knew it when the judge said it. I knew it. This is what I prayed for. This is the creator speaking through the judge. And I knew like there's a possibility I can lead a different life. And if I just go through this thing, and get through it. The things are going to get better. But as soon as the judge said it, I knew, because it wasn't just one prayer; it was many prayers over several
Yeah.
days to show me something different. I don't, you know, it's kind of humorous, but I begin to realize that I'm never going to outrun the police. I'm never going to outrun them. And if I do, it's only for a minute. They'll catch up to me. Do I want to spend my life in and out of jail? And pretty soon the state's going to get tired of dealing with me and say, well, let's just lock him up for 3 years. Is that really where I want to go? And it wasn't. So I was like, show me something different. I want something different. So that desire for something different, I didn't know anything about recovery or AA or NA or anything like that. I really didn't know. I heard about them, but I didn't know what they consisted of. But then when I got into treatment and you had to attend 3 meetings per week, then I began to learn about it and I began to work the steps, and so right from the get go, right when I got into treatment, I knew, I felt like that's where the Creator wanted me.
Well, I like how you say, that it was the 12 steps that really helped you. I'm a firm believer in because I got a lot of friends that got sober, but uh to me, they say that you got to keep an open mind and you got to be willing. And I didn't know what being willing meant. Like okay, I can be there physically, but what does that mean mentally? To me, and I understand it today is that willingness means that you're going to show up to these meetings. And not only are you going to show up, you're going to share. You're going to go talk to the newcomer. You're going to try to be of service. Like all these, I thought for the longest, like, well, I'm here and that's enough. But I didn't really get the whole concept of what it meant to be willing, and so I appreciate, I appreciate you sharing that. And Ruth, what do you feel like, like what helped you make that decision?
I I had always for a while wanted to get sober, and I would do the sober 1 2 months, fall back off, and then okay, we can do it again, start again. And then finally I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired. And we also had a son, and that was my main push, was I didn't want him to see the life that I seen, which wasn't a very good one. And because my whole family was, well, except for my grandpa, but he was a bootlegger. So but the thing is, he never did give it to them. They had to go and get their own drink somewhere
Yeah,
else. It was weird. It was weird. But I didn't want him to grow up in what I did.
yeah,
And that was a main push. And when he got out of treatment and said, "Are you ready?" I said, "Yeah." So from that day forward, I have been clean and sober. And I did go to treatment in Concho, and I was there and got out and did good for maybe a month or so, and then started back in. And then I found out I was pregnant, and I quit everything. I stayed sober and everything through the whole pregnancy. And then he was maybe 3 months old. And I thought, oh, I can have one beer. And pretty soon it was, oh, one more won't. And then things just all spiraled out of hand from there. And then finally, it's just, when I seen that he was going to, make an effort to try, I knew I had to
yeah.
in order for our son to have both parents. Because that was a
Well,
big thing for me, because my mom, she basically gave me up to my grandpa because he didn't drink. And my little brothers, they got taken away. And my dad passed away when I was a baby, all from alcohol. And that's what she passed away. Well, she didn't pass away from that mainly because she wasn't taking care of herself and got pneumonia.
Wow.
So, I mean, mainly everybody I know or loved has passed away from alcohol. I didn't want that.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's powerful that you say that because there's so many like family dynamics that go into even just the exposure to that life.
Yeah.
There's so many dynamics that that are so normal to us. There's so many, because if that's all then I understand completely what you say. I'm from Thomas, very small community. And, we knew who the alcoholics were, but when my mom was home, she had to be sober. But I knew when a certain auntie would pull up, like you just know, like I might not see her till Sunday. And that just became so normal. Then I come to El Reno, and it's like on a whole nother scale.
Yeah.
Like going home, like as soon as we show up, my Uncle Crow, he'd be passed out in the front yard. And it was just normal, like go kick him, hey uncle, like
Go inside.
yeah, shoots them flies off of him, yeah.
God. Wipe his mouth.
But I really really love my uncle.
Yeah.
Like he was one of the kindest souls. And I I understand today how much he was suffering. I now that I've gotten into trying to understand this illness, and it. I'm glad we're exactly where we are today, where we can talk about these things. Because back then, I was ashamed. I was ashamed. I didn't want to go to school and tell anybody. I watched my dad and my uncle, get into a like
Yeah.
get into a real bad fight, at 7 o'clock this morning,
And it's normal.
Yeah, it was so normal, I didn't know how to talk about those things. And I love hearing a story about stopping that generational trauma. You know, I always say all the time, yeah, I was the problem. You know, I did have, I did bring those things around. I did introduce my that lifestyle to my family. So I'm glad to be sitting here on this couch with two people who have lived that generational healing. You know, what do you feel like? Like what do you feel like helped you get through like a tough day if you were having a tough day? Either one of you.
For me, I always just pray to my help, talk like I'm talking to my friend, what should I do? How can I do this? Can you show me? And that's about what I do just to get through everything.
Yeah, some days are really really rough, and sometimes you have to pray. Just help me get through the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and then you sit down and you eat lunch and pray again and say, okay, help me get through the afternoon, or help me get through these next 2 hours. And some of these things are really rough, and without a creator, no, my hell, not the mind that um, March of 2020, we buried my brother from cancer, and without the creator and being able to have that straight line of communication, then those are some of the rough days that we don't make it through. We lean on each other a lot, but when we're in different places, we lean on the Creator. We know through life experience, we know that those prayers work, and then He's
Hmm.
listening, and He's going to help us. And sometimes, even when early on in our recovery, the answer wasn't what should we do, but maybe what should we not do, and that kept us from relapsing, and that kept us from making bad decisions. Okay, well, we don't want to do this and we don't want to do that. And sometimes by the process of elimination of what we didn't want to do, we found the answer. So not knowing is also through the creator that helps you give that ability to reason and say, okay, well, we learned 10 years ago not to do it this way. And last year, you remember we did it that way and that didn't work. So we knew what not to do. And that helped us to make a right decision, and you talk about breaking that generation gap. I think our son was about 14, I think. And I think he was about 14 or 15, and he came out of his room and he said, Daddy, I made a decision. And I go, "Oh, yeah? What is it?" He said, "I promised God and I promised myself I'm never going to drink. I'm never going to take any drugs, you know. And I don't like to give ourselves the credit. I like to give the Creator
Oh yeah.
credit um, for touching him like that. But we took our sons to AA meetings, NA meetings, rallies, recovery walks, conferences, and there's one conference that happens once a year down at Quartz Mountain, and we love going to that place. We love it down there, and we try to go every year. And probably over the last 15 years, we probably only missed 2 or 3 years because we love going, and our son loves going, and we all go down there as a family and attend this conference. And um, I think it was 2 years ago they had a guest speaker cancel out. He had a family emergency, and they gave me and two others 20 minutes each of his time, to get up and tell our story. And then that was really really great for us, to be able to share to people that we don't see on a day to day basis, and but I think breaking that gap is him seeing and hearing the stories of addicts and their addiction, and him realizing that there's nothing there, and so people that have heard that story try to give us credit, but the credit all goes back to the creator because he's the one that helped us get clean and sober in the first place. you know
I like that. I like how you know, you you understand what it was like for what you did when you had your will and what it was like whenever you lived by the creator's will. That I may not know what the creator's will is, but I know what it isn't. And I love that part because that's where I found myself at a lot of the time. Like was like, well, I don't want to do drugs and alcohol, so what do I do? How do I occupy my mind? How do I occupy myself? And in early in my recovery, that's where I really seen the importance of prayer. So I love the fact that we can have two individuals on here who have actually lived that life and found a healthy way to raise your family. I think that's very important that people see that this thing works. It works if you work it. And I'm very honored to have you two come on today because you know uh I love it when people are able to help people understand that there is a way out. If you had any advice for anybody coming into recovery or even thinking about it, could you offer some words of hope?
so
I would just say, just talk to somebody. There's always somebody there. And it's like they always say, you don't think nobody will understand or nobody will relate, but you never know until you say something and then somebody else will open up or it triggers something for them and they're like, oh, yeah, there's always somebody out there that understands, and I mean, it's like me, I'm willing to listen to anybody. People say, oh, no, I don't want, it don't matter. I can listen to anything. I've probably seen worse, but all I can say is, don't give up on yourself. Just talk to somebody, seek out some help. There's always a listening ear, a caring heart, and always reach out to the creator. If you don't want to, talk to somebody right then, reach out to the creator and talk to him, and he will direct somebody to you.
I think like no matter what you think or no matter how you feel, you can do it. You can do it. And when we early on in our addiction, um, the help and the resources that's out there was limited.
Yeah.
But today, it's on every corner. And if you have that desire to get clean and sober, you can do it because there's a whole host of resources ready to help. And that's what they do. That's their objective. That's their mission is to help people get clean and sober. So even though you think you're not deserving or you're not worthy or that you just can't do it or you don't have the tools, they're right around the corner. All you got to do is lift your head up and start looking around because they're there. And early on in our childhood, we never heard about AA or NA or we
Yeah.
never heard about those things. But now, man, that's so grateful, so good to hear that you can't go 2 blocks without hearing somebody say something about some type of recovery program or recovery pathway. Yeah, I'm so grateful for that, and the stigmatism associated with that is slowly reducing. People are starting to reach out and help instead of snubbing their nose, because addicts are good people that deserve to get well. We're not bad people, you know. Every addict I've ever met had a good heart.
Hmm.
I have never met a really foul and profane, just downright dirty addict. They were good people, made bad decisions, and
Yeah.
got caught up in a different world that they didn't really want. But they didn't know where it was going. They didn't know where it was going to take them, And then now so now it's time to get cleaned up and get on the path, And so I think like even though you don't feel like you're worthy of help, you are worthy of help, and you are deserving of help, and it's there for you. You just got to reach out, tell somebody you want it.
Well, thank you for sharing that. You know, I, y'all both, to me, you all are full of knowledge. I don't think enough people realize how, like for me, like I said, I'm new into this thing. It's a new way of life to me. So, I love seeing, uh, people that are able to show me that it is worth it. It's just brought all the goodness that has happened in your life. I I remember being that person that didn't understand, or didn't realize like, what it took for a person to get there. I grew up in a household where, everybody smoked weed, except my grandma, like that's just what, that was as sober as people got. So I love the fact that you all can come on here today and share your experience, strength, and hope with this. I mean, it means the world to me. and not to mention the good teas that were brought with you. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was
Aw.
great. That hit the spot. So we're very appreciative. Do we have any comments or any questions that?
And I thank you all for keeping this and doing this and getting out there to the communities and spreading the good word to everybody and letting them know, hey,
Yeah.
it is possible.
The outreach is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like the outreach.
Yes, definitely.
Mary Kay says, "Good morning, great seeing you."
Good morning, Mary Faye.
Hey, Mary
Carrie
Faye.
says, "Thank you for everything you do to help me stay clean and keen."
Appreciate that.
Cassie says, "Good morning." My mom says, "Good morning." My auntie says, "Good morning." Cassandra says, "Good morning." Brandon Cheney says, "Good morning."
Good morning, Brandon.
Nadia Davis says,
Miss
"Good
Davis.
morning." Jen Miller.
Good morning, Jen, up there in Billings.
Cassie was like, "It was normal waking up and stepping over people that would pass them."
Yeah, it looked like a bomb went
God,
off.
oh,
Uh,
rugged.
Kim
That's
C.
the way
Carter
it
says,
was.
"Hello, Uncle Ron."
Oh,
Auntie Ruth.
Hey,
All right.
She gave some Lulus instead of power couple
which
in
Kim?
recovery.
Kim Sue.
Oh, yeah.
Dave says, "What's some advice you can give a couple that is in recovery?"
Wow, that's a good question.
Just have open communication and be able to talk to each other. You know, it may seem hard, but you can work it out together. Um, go to your creator, you know, and ask for your understanding and your patience because we all need
Yeah.
I think you know, opening the lines of communication. Go ahead, talk to him. Sometimes men, we don't want to admit that we're feeling insecure or maybe doubtful about our pathway or a decision that we need to make. And go talk to your wife. Go talk to your partner. And sit down and just talk to them. And I found out through Ruth that if I feel insecure or I'm doubtful about something and I go talk to her, she's already thought about it like 2 years ago. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm still catching up, but you know, nobody, one saying I used to hear a long time ago when I was a teenager was a closed mouth never gets fed. So if you need help with something, go see your partner, talk to him, open up a little bit, you know, and the chances are they're going to say something that's going to help you. They're there with you, not against you.
Thank you for sharing that. Good question, Dave.
Tatum
Yeah.
says, "Good morning."
Good morning, Tatum.
Lydia West says she's tuning in from Eureka, California. She's got 16 years and 8 months. And then she
Thank you
says,
for
"Ron
sharing
and
that.
Ruth are great examples of neighbors in recovery."
Yes, they are. Thank you for sharing that.
Kimberly says, "OCO, good morning."
Sio,
Theodosia Doe Bond says, "Good
Doe.
morning." Earl
Good
says,
morning, Doe.
"Rocket."
Nyaka Earl.
Natalie says, "Couple speaker night?" Question mark.
Ooh,
Uh
that'd be
oh.
nice.
Uh
That'd be nice.
Mary Faye said she's had the pleasure of meeting Ruth and Ron at All Nation Sober Rally, and they walk the walk and talk the talk.
Definitely.
Keep going. Joshua Pickett says, "Inspiring, it gives me hope."
Thank
oh.
you.
That's
Thank you for
good. That's
tuning
what we
in.
want to do.
Yes.
I'll tell you something about Lydia. And I met Lydia, and she said, "You want to go to UCO and teach a class?" And we went up there and taught like an hour and a half class up there at UCO about natives in recovery.
Wow.
And then she called me like a couple weeks later. They want us to come back and do a graduate class, and I'm like, "What, really?" Yeah, okay. So we went up there and did a graduate class. That's how I met Lydia.
That's amazing.
It is.
That is
I didn't know
amazing.
her, But I don't know. There was just unspoken trust there. I knew what she wanted to do, and this is what we're going to go do. And she's got a good heart, good soul.
Wow, that's amazing. And it's I don't think there's enough of it, enough of couples being able to, because like they say, a lot of people in recovery, a lot of them don't go get sober together. You know what I mean? So I love you all's story. I think it's powerful. And it just shows like how powerful this thing can be and the effect it can have, on your community. Everybody's able to see it. And you all are good people. You all are good people. So do we have any more comments? Yes, couple speaker night. So that would be a great ideal. And so is there any closing words or any shout outs that you would like to give before?
Um, in Oklahoma City, there's an organization called Oklahoma Citizens Advocacy for Recovery and Transformation Association, and they do sober living homes. And in their offices, they allow different groups and counselors come in, and they do anger management, and they do peer recovery support, and they help people do assessments. I mean, they have a host of resources there. So if you're in the Oklahoma City area, maybe you stop by and go see them. I've been on the board of directors for them since 2006, and I think Ruth joined just maybe 3 or 4 years after that, and then now even our son is on the board, and
Wow,
he Ruth is actually the president, Madam President, and our son is actually the treasurer.
that's amazing.
So and we do Zoom meetings for interviews. If you're interested in being on the board of directors, get with Ocarta, and she'll get you an application, and we usually do Zoom interviews, and then on the next scheduled meeting, then we'll vote to accept you, or So if you're in the Oklahoma City area, there's a resource right there for you.
That's amazing. Well, is there anything you'd like to say,
I
Ruth?
just want to, tell anybody out there that, if you're thinking about going in recovery or want to be in recovery, just reach out to somebody, talk to somebody, you know, even if you have to pick up the phone 3 times and hang up 3 times, that next time, all you got to say is, hey, because there's always somebody there listening. Just reach out. It's worth it. You're worth it.
Thank you so much. I we'll kick the ideal around about getting you all to come up and speak with us. With our group here at our talking circle, and we appreciate all your service work. We appreciate you all being able to come up and talk about your recovery. And as a couple, I think that's very, very powerful. And you're always welcome back. You're always welcome back. Like I said, you all are good people, and we appreciate the love that you're able to show the next person. So with that, I believe we are going to are we going? Wait, what's today? Wednesday or Thursday?
Payday.
Payday. So yeah, tonight's our talking circle here at 1950 South Shepherd here in El Reno. It'll be at 7 o'clock. We usually have a pretty decent turnout, and hopefully we can put out our speaker night flyer soon. I think the ideal just yeah just popped up today. So uh, I think it's very powerful what you two are able to do today. So I want to say thank you, and I know all of our listeners appreciate it. And you're always welcome back, and we are just honored to have you on today. So I just want to say nice. So
Yeah.
with that, we will see you soon. I hope.